This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
I thought it would be helpful to share 10 plant varieties that I cannot live without as somebody that has over 250 houseplants and has tried most of the plants that are readily available on the market. So these are plant varieties that if they die, I repurchase them. I'll always have them in my house no matter what. And they're plants that I have multiple types of, and if I see them out, I love to add new varieties to my collection. And it's not in any particular order. And I'm very curious to hear what you guys think, and I'd love for you to leave in the comments which plant varieties you can't live without that you will always have in your collection. I love seeing that. Maybe we'll have some of the same ones. That would be pretty cool. Now, a huge thank you to our friends at Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform that empowers individuals to create their online presence or launch their passion project. Start with a completely personalized website with the new guided design system, Squarespace Blueprint. You can choose from professionally curated layouts and styling options to build a unique online presence from the ground up, tailored to your brand or business and optimized for every device. Easily launch your website and get discovered fast with integrated optimized SEO tools so you can show up more often to more people and grow the way you want. It's easy to make checkout seamless for your customers, manage your clients and invoices. Head to squarespace.com/plantlive to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now, if planty stuff brings a smile to your face, subscribe. That way episodes show up in your newsfeed. And we also have a really great community on TikTok and Instagram. So I'm going to just dive in. Again, this isn't in any particular order, and it's just off the top of my head. So the first plant that I will always have in my collection no matter what is a snake plant. I love snake plants. Primarily just because they're so easy to take care of. They add that pop of green to the house, but they are fine on thriving on neglect, which we all love those types of plants. And I think probably my favorite type of snake plant, if I had to choose, would be a whale fin snake plant. And this is a variegated whale fin. And the whale fins just look like one big fin coming up out of the pot. And I've had a lot of success with pups and offshoots on my snake plants. So this is another one that's grown off, and they're so easy to propagate, and I just propagate usually by division, especially if there's another plant growing. So this one is a propagation actually. So I have so many of these plants everywhere, and you can also propagate just by cutting the leaf, part of the leaf off and then putting that in water. They're just such fabulous houseplants. I will always have snake plants in my collection, and I'll always have whale fins. And it's the plant that every time I see whale fins when I'm out shopping, it's really hard for me to not want to buy all the whale fins. I will probably always have some variety of angel wing begonias or cane begonias in my collection. I just love them. I loved them when I first started plant collecting. I was obsessed, and nothing's changed. I still absolutely love them. And I try to limit how many I have. I think I have 3 or 4 angel wing begonias right now, but I would love to add more. I got a little bit intimidated with I felt like I couldn't keep them alive, but now I have the hang of them, so I'm really wanting to add more and more to my collection. So here's just a couple of varieties. This is the Begonia maculata, and this is the Quasimodo begonia from Harmony Begonias, and then I have another really cool one over here. I just love them. I think they're so neat. They're beautiful. I love the shape of the leaves. There's so many different varieties, so many different colors. Some of the leaves are huge, some are small. And really the trick with these is to not underwater them. So when they get about halfway dry to almost fully dry, you definitely want to give them a drink. And I know they're supposed to love humidity, but I don't have a humidifier going really ever. I'm lucky I live in North Carolina, so in the winter time, we usually have about 40% humidity. And then in the summertime, we have 60-something% humidity. But I just kind of let my plants adjust. I let my plants adjust, and they seem to do okay. This Begonia maculata had become very, very leggy, so I just completely cut it off. And this is all brand new growth just this year, which is amazing. I think it's just this year. Maybe it's been a year and a half. But I've been a little bit bad about underwatering this plant recently, so you can see like some of the old leaves are struggling a bit, but the new growth looks really good. Yeah, you just don't want to underwater these guys. I'm definitely gonna have to do another one of these videos because there's no way that I can just narrow it down to 10 varieties. Next up is Pothos. I love Pothos. This one's a golden Pothos, and this plant had like completely died off, and now it's just completely grown back. I just absolutely love Pothos varieties. They're so great. There's so many of them. They're incredibly easy to care for. Like, I will always have a Pothos in the house. They're so great for the air quality. You can find them for really affordable prices. There's always like fun new varieties coming out on the market. So I'm a big time Pothos fan. I will always have lipstick plants. I can't get enough of lipstick plants. This is only one of the kind I have. I have so many different varieties now. I think I'm up to like 6 or 7 different types of lipstick plants. I love them, and they all look so different, but they all have the same easy care quality, and I love that they bloom. It's so fun to have a plant that blooms. These are actually in bloom right now, and you can actually see the little like lipstick in there that will fully come out. So it has like this outer case, and then it has the little like red flower that comes out, and each lipstick plant variety has different colors, different flowers, different blooms. It's just amazing. This one is supposed to be a variegated lipstick plant, and it has some variegation, but I just can't get enough of it. Like, it's the most amazing plant. It requires nothing, and this one is a bit sun stressed, which isn't bad for the plant. It just means that it has gotten a lot of light and is turning like a pink color or purple color. And it's nice because it's not like burning the leaves. Like, sometimes a plant doesn't really have the ability to get sun stressed in a nice way. It just gets sunburned and it messes up the leaves, and the plant can't handle it. But lipstick plants are just so tough. I love them. So yeah, lipstick plants are a 10 out of 10 for me. I will always have lipstick plants in my collection. I have to put Astrophytum in there. Astrophytum are a variety of cacti, and there are lots of different types of Astrophytum. So here we have one, like, just looks like such a big pillow. And then here's another kind. Look at that, she's about to bloom. She has the most beautiful yellow bloom. But Astrophytum are so beautiful. They are very slow growing. They take a long time to get big. So if you can find one at a store that's a good size and not crazy expensive, definitely snatch it up. They all have different shapes. They all have different patterns. And I just think it's like Mother Nature really just showing off here, because they're just so beautiful and symmetrical, and each one is unique and different, and they're easy to care for. They're cactus, so it's like 10 out of 10. I'm a big Astrophytum fan, and I try to collect all the different varieties. I don't know, I have to have at least like 8 different Astrophytum varieties at this point, and I have killed a few actually. I think like overwatering, letting it sit in water, which has been really unfortunate because they're hard to come by. But hey, we keep it real here in Plant Life with Ashley and Nita, and I kill plants too. So, but guess what? I'm always going to be repurchasing Astrophytum. They're always going to be in my collection. So I'm trying to think what the next one is. I will always have Hoya in my collection, but it's a specific type of like Hoya variety, like the Hoyas that have the really thick leaves. There are lots of different types of Hoya. There's ones that like have little petite leaves and thin leaves and long leaves. But for me, it's just the ones that have like nice thick leaves that are just easy. They store a lot of water, and I don't have to do much with them. And there's so many cool Hoya that are in that criteria, like endless amount of Hoya in that criteria. So this is a sunrise Hoya. It's one of my favorites. And do you know, I just looked and it has like mealy bugs on this one. So I'm gonna give it some systemic granules, treat it with some insecticidal soap. I'll probably spray the spots with mealy bugs with like some alcohol. But yeah, I love Hoya, and again, it's like the ones that have the thick leaves and don't require much, like the Hoya Crimson Princess, the Crimson Queen, the Sunrise. I could just come up with a million different examples. Like, I'll grab some more. Here's another example. This is a Hoya Macrophylla. It just has those like nice sized leaves that are thick and just really easy. I did notice this one also has mealybugs, so I'm gonna have to do a treatment day on all my plants and get, you know, take care of business. around here. I'm so bummed because I've never had any issues on like this side, and yeah, they are spreading. I really love fiddle leaf figs. Like ficus in general are such great plants, but I am obsessed with fiddle leaf figs, especially really big fiddles. So I think I will always have one in my house. I have one right now, and I'll tell you what, if that thing didn't make it for some reason, that same day I would go to a store and get one that was absolutely massive again, because that plant brings me so much joy every single day. And I have to say, it has been incredibly easy to take care of. I waited a long time before I got a fiddle leaf fig because I was expecting it to be high maintenance and have a lot of issues and drop leaves, which it does from time to time, but it's been great. I don't know what I was so nervous about. I find that it's been really easy to care for. And again, even if it wasn't, that's the plant I would continue adding to my collection. You know, thank goodness for the old pocketbook that it's, you know, not died, because they are expensive, especially to get the really big ones. But I'll always have one of those in my collection. Another one is Monstera, but specifically the Monstera deliciosas, or the Monstera Thai constellations, or the Monstera albos, the ones that have those really big, beautiful heart-shaped leaves with the gorgeous fenestrations. Whether you get the green ones or the ones with variegation, I mean, I'll always have some version of that plant in my collection, if not all three, if not multiples of all of them. I just love those plants, and I know some people can struggle with them, even though they're supposedly like very easy care, and they can be. Sometimes it's no problem, and sometimes we struggle with certain plants, but no matter what, I'll always have them in my house. I just think they're so beautiful. Anthurium clarinervium, this was like the plant I got when I really felt like, okay, I'm getting into plant collecting now. Like, I'm learning about all the different varieties, and this plant is really special. And I couldn't find them anywhere in Charlotte, so I actually had to order this one online, and I think it came from Hawaii. And it's done okay. Again, I don't have a humidifier going, and especially these type of Anthurium, the ones that are like heart-shaped and very velvety and have like the veining and stuff, they need really high humidity to be, sorry, I'm like spilling water all over myself. But yeah, they need really high humidity to thrive. So this one definitely, like, it's okay, but they will start to like crisp up and brown. This one, like the leaf that's come out is really small. So if you're noticing a lot of the leaves of your plant are really small and it doesn't need to be repotted, it's not a pest issue, you're fertilizing, it's probably because you need to like up your humidity. If I wanted these plants to get like really huge leaves, I would have to bump up the humidity in here. So yeah, but you know, even if they struggle a little bit with like getting kind of crispy on the edges and stuff, I'll always have these types of Anthurium, and it's hard not to want to collect all of them. Like I have the Anthurium clarinervium, the Anthurium crystallinum that looks very, is this? Yeah, see, this here is an Anthurium crystallinum, and it's like, has a lot of crisping going on. But I just love them so much. I'll always have one in my collection. And I think as long as you have the humidity good and like at the right levels, and you have a really well draining soil mixture, these plants aren't difficult. I'm being difficult by not providing them with a humidifier. Oh, I just ran downstairs to get this plant, and I think this is 10. Yeah, I think this is the last one for this video, and I'll definitely have to do another one because there are at least 10 more that I will always have in my collection. But this is a Scindapsus. This is a Scindapsus pictus exotica. And again, this is, Scindapsus pictus are so easy. A lot of times they're called like satin pothos because they're very similar care-wise to pothos, and that they're just like the best plants. And there's so many fun varieties, so I definitely have multiple kinds of Scindapsus pictus in my house right now. I love the exotica because of the like big leaves, the shape of the leaves, the silver on there, the fact it requires nothing. It can handle lower light conditions if needed. It's just so stunning for like no work at all. So I think I'll always have Scindapsus varieties, and it's the type of plant where when I go out and I see it, I always want to like buy another one, but I do try to limit to like one kind of each. But I'll admit I have multiples of Scindapsus exotica amongst other Scindapsus varieties. So yeah, huge fan of the Scindapsus. So there you have it. Those are 10 plant varieties that I cannot live without. And please let me know what yours are. I'm so curious. I would love to know. I'm definitely going to do another one of these videos because we can't just have 10. We gotta have at least 10 more. If you like planty stuff, subscribe so episodes show up in your newsfeed. And again, we have a great community on Instagram and TikTok. All right, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and I get to see you soon. Bye.